All right, everybody, you know what time it is. The Real Talk Sports Show is coming up right now. I am. Welcome to the Real Talk Sports Show. I'm your host, the Minister Jonathan Simmons, and we thank God for all those of you who are joining us here this morning, or I should say this afternoon, whatever time you're listening to us. We appreciate you, each and every one. Thank you, and thank you. We're broadcasting to you on all social media platforms. Here we are. Bang! You can see us now. How you guys doing, guys? Yeah, so appreciate all those of you tuning in here this morning or this afternoon. As you can see, it's a little bit crazy here. We're under a little bit of, I don't want to say duress. That's probably not the right word, but as you would expect with very hot weather, especially down here in the South, and we've had a myriad of thunderstorms. Unfortunately, we're living in a home that's a little bit older, and our air conditioning, excuse me, is out. The air conditioning is knocked out, so we are making do what it do here in a new location. But we thank God for the ability to do so. And again, we thank God for each and every one of you who decided to tune in to join us. Remember, please follow us on social media anywhere at Real Talk Sports, the number 7. And especially if you are listening or watching on YouTube for the very first time and you have not done so already, we're going to ask you, ladies and gentlemen, to please subscribe, and subscribe. We're inching our way slowly but surely to the fantastical 1,000 subscribers. And once you do that, we become an official YouTube, I don't say influencer, but we become part of the YouTube official family. And as time goes on, we'll be able to offer more things to you and to all those of you who are our sponsors and broadcasters. So please, ma'am, please, sir, you know what to do. Like I said again, subscribe to our page. And then again, follow us anywhere on social media at Real Talk Sports, the number 7. So please, we appreciate you for doing that. Like I said, it's a great help. And thanks to all those of you who stop me periodically on the streets and says, "Hey, aren't you the Real Talk Sports guy?" And I say, "Yes, I am." And like I said again, it is a great thing to interact with those of you who've seen me. I also do a lot of other events that are related to our radio station, the legendary WIGO Pacesetter 1570. And like I said again, so many of you have stopped me and said, "Hey, I watch your podcast." Well, the really cool thing is that for those of you who don't know, I'm also in ministry, and several of you have said you watch my ministry podcast as well. So we are definitely very thankful to you, because at the end of the day, as much as I enjoy sports talk radio, as much as I enjoy the other things I do, I am in fact a licensed minister of the gospel. The Lord called me to this wonderful endeavor. Man, it's been over 30 years now. And so the opportunity to be able to spread the gospel in the way it's maybe different and different platform is great. And it's an encouragement to hear that some of you have been able to watch the broadcast and enjoy it. So again, thank you so much for doing so. Well, a lot has been going on in the world of sports, as it always is. It is always lots of things happening, especially when we come out of the weekend, which is why we do our show on Tuesday. The Olympics are going on. The Atlanta Braves are cooking here in Atlanta. The WNBA will be back in fashion soon. And of course, most of you tune into this show for football, and football is on and popping at every level. high school football has gotten in all of their summer camp, and a matter of fact, many of the schools had their first exhibition game last week, and then we have the season officially starting literally, I believe, on Wednesday here in Atlanta. We have something called the Corky Kell Classic, is a huge invitational tournament that has, I believe, a total of 11 games and 22 teams. The culmination is 4 teams playing literally all day from it's 10 o'clock in the morning to, I guess, the last game ends at about 9:30 in the evening, right in downtown Atlanta, in the home of the Atlanta Falcons, the Mercedes-Benz Stadium, where the Final Four high school matchups are there. Great matchups coming up in the Corky Kell Classic. And so if you're in the Atlanta area and you love high school football, if you like high school football, you'll be able to check out some great intersectional matchups. So go on to the Corky Kell Classic website. If you can't find it, just go Corky Kell, and Corky is Corkykell. So it's 2 words: Corky, first word, last word, classic. And I think they've added on another title sponsor. But if you put in Corky Kell Classic, you will see the games and the lineups that they have coming up. And like I said, the cool thing about this is kind of the kickoff of the high school football season here in Atlanta. And you will find some of the best teams in the state that are squaring off. And this cool thing, because like I said, again, they enable you to see some matchups that you would normally not see until you got into the state tournament. Let me give you some of the matchups right here so you guys can get it. So as I mentioned, Wednesday is the official kickoff to that season. I say that season, I'm talking about the high school football season. And here it is, Douglas, Atlanta. So you Astros, for those of you in the Atlanta area, Douglas is a legendary school in downtown Atlanta. They'll be playing LaGrange. And LaGrange is the high school that our own Tyrone Poole, I believe, matriculated at when he was there. North Atlanta will take on Kell. Then on Thursday night at West Forsyth High School, excuse me, the games that I just mentioned on Wednesday will be at Kell High School, which I believe is in either Paulding or Cobb County. You'll have to look that up for those of you in the Atlanta area. Thursday night, it's 4:30 p.m. South Paulding versus Dunwoody and Prince Avenue, a private school, against West Forsyth. And that'll be in West Forsyth High School, which is way up in past Fulton County. I think it's in Forsyth County, if I'm not mistaken. But again, it's at West Forsyth High School. Then the Hebron Christian High School will host Farrell, another school from downtown Atlanta. So again, you're getting suburban and inner city matchups. And then all the way out at Rome, Rome, a team who got to state semifinals just a couple of years ago, they will be hosting 2 games. Creekside against Rome is the classic game at 8 o'clock. Callaway versus Cass. But again, Creekside, a South Side power against Rome. Big intersectional game there. And then the final matchups will be on Saturday, all day long, starting at 10 a.m. First game, Walton versus Brookwood, 2 perennial powers, followed by Alpharetta versus Houston County. There we go, way up in North Fulton against Houston, which is down in the Macon area. Then McEachern against North Gwinnett. These two battle every single year. 2, again, great teams from the state of Georgia. And this is the classic, the 7 p.m. nightcap. Douglas County, a team that had went undefeated until they lost in the playoffs against Cedar Grove, a team that has won 2 of the last 4 state championships in their class. So again, the Corky Kell Classic kicks off high school football here in Atlanta. If you got a chance, guys, you want to go out and check these games out, especially the game at those 4 games at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Very, very reasonable in terms of cost to get there and to see those games. They get you a chance, for those of you who have not been, a chance to see that magnificent Mercedes-Benz Stadium where the Falcons normally play their games. So if you guys got a chance to go, you like high school football, that's the place to go and check it out. Corky Kell Classic starting on Wednesday, but culminating on Saturday morning through the evening. 4 spectacular games set up right at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. So again, if you're in the area, go check them out and support high school football. I always tell people it's really, the kids need our support. And speaking of that, I'm going to ask you, we're doing something new this year. We are going to be partnering with local businesses to provide, along with Clayton County High School, excuse me, Clayton County Public Schools athletic department. We are going to be looking to give away Player of the Week, Player of the Month, and Player of the Year awards. So we're looking for partners to come alongside with us. That you can give us monetary donations, biggest thing, we'd love to see if you have gift cards that you can give away or you have merchandise. We're also looking for meal sponsors so we can give away meal tickets and meal gift certificates. So again, hit me up, Jay Simmons at realtalksports.net. Text me 678-410-9833. It's very, very reasonable to get involved. And here's the cool thing. Your business actually gets promoted on the Clayton County website. And when we do the live broadcast, where literally we have thousands of people watch our live stream of Friday Night Live, we will mention you as the meal sponsor for the particular award. So again, hit me up, Jason at realtalksports.net, or simply text or call me 678-410-9833. Again, we are looking for partners with us as we now, for the first time, are going to award young people Player of the Week, Player of the Month, and then the big one will be Player of the Year at the end of the year, where we hope to pass out great awards and gift cards to these young people, and we need your help to do it. So please, ma'am, please, sir, if you want to get back into the community and help us to bless these young people all around pretty much South Metro Atlanta, check us out. And again, hit me up via the email, jasonsimmons@realtalksports.net, or simply give me a call or text me 678-410-9833. As I mentioned to you, we had the start of the high school football season, and Clayton County, to their credit, high school stepped up. We had a couple of big matchups. First of all, we had ELCA, which is Eagles Landing Christian Academy, small private school, but they have been legendary. They have had times where they have run off as many as 4 or 5 consecutive state championships. They hosted Jonesboro, as they do on an annual basis, for their preseason game. And Jonesboro this time comes away with a solid victory, 20-2 over ELCA. I believe it's the first time they beat them in this preseason matchup. So that bodes well for the Jonesboro Cardinals, who we will have on, good Lord willing, next week, as we always do each and every football season. Second Tuesday is Jonesboro Tuesday. So if you're a Jonesboro Cardinal fan, stay tuned for us next Tuesday as we bring the Cardinals on. Also, North Clayton played Berkmar, a team from up on the north side, and North Clayton showed the flag and won their game 21-14, knocking off the Berkmar team from coming from up. I believe they're in the Alpharetta area. But the bottom line is, it's a great sign that these two Clayton County schools were able to knock off these two teams from wealthier counties. Always exciting. And speaking of that, last but not least, we went to the media days, and Clayton County, to their credit, our new superintendent, Dr. Smith, he has been a man of his word. He said he's going to invest millions of dollars into the infrastructure of the high schools here in Clayton County. And just to kind of bring you up to speed for those of you who are outside of the Atlanta area, several years ago, the Clayton County schools lost one of their main accreditations, and it really acted like a scorched earth in terms of the community. So many families had to uproot their children, have them move in with relatives and other people in order for these young men to continue to matriculate. And the county itself lost a lot in terms of the housing market. Many houses dropped as much as 40 or 50% on the dollar. So it really sent shockwaves to the community. But here we are, approximately 12 or 13 years later, and the county's got a new attitude. We have, thankfully, with the help of our outgoing commissioner, I'm just drawing a blank, Commissioner Jeffrey Turner, a guy who has served as a police chief. He served as the chairman of the county. He marshaled the county through this very bumpy and rough time and has the county back on its feet, along with many of the other entities here down in Clayton County, at the Clayton County Chamber, Airtropolis Atlanta. All these people have invested back into the community, and it really has helped Clayton County turn around. Home prices have went back up. Clayton County is a place that many, many people now are moving to because of proximity to the airport here in Atlanta. So again, big shout out to the outgoing chairman, Chairman Jeff Turner, who we will have on this show because he is having his final kind of big event that the county does each year. It's kind of a business outreach where local businesses have an opportunity to show their wares to the public. So we'll bring him on and let him talk a little bit about how he feels about leaving the county in such good hands. All right, speaking of good hands, we need to let you guys know about the good hands that help us make this broadcast a reality each and every week. You're tuned into the Real Talk Sports Show. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back with more good sports talk in just a moment. just a minute if I can speak English. Don't go anywhere, please. Thank you.
Hey, sports fans, tune in for live high school football Fridays, 7:30 p.m. on RealTalkSports.net. Check out your favorite Metro Atlanta teams as they do battle on the gridiron. It's your high school game of the week, live streaming free Friday nights on RealTalkSports.net. For more sports coverage and great sports talk, catch the Real Talk Sports Show Tuesdays, 8 p.m. on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, or Twitch. Brought to you by Allen Vigil Ford in Morrow, a business giving back to their community. Give them a call at 678-364-3979 or check them out online at allenvigilford.net.
Welcome to the Real Talk Sports Show. I'm Aria, the first AI presenter for Real Talk Sports. We want to get your feedback about my participations in the show, so please leave comments. So stay tuned, the Real Talk Sports Show is coming up.
Coming up next, it's the Real Talk Sports Show, bringing you great sports talk with perspective. Now, here's our host, Jonathan Simmons.
Here, guys, as I mentioned, we pour a lot of our energies here into high school football, especially in the Clayton County area. So what we're going to do is we're going to give you a peek at our coverage of the media days last week, and we're going to let you listen to a couple of young men who will be playing for their teams. First of all, we're going to go to the North Clayton Eagles and listen to a quick interview with their star quarterback, Mr. Justin Murphy. Clayton County Media Days here, and we have a gentleman that's going to introduce himself to you right now.
Hello, my name is Justin J. Money Murphy. I go to North Clayton High School, QB number 2.
Look, man, how excited are you for the start of the season? Because it seems like the summer's always long, and you're waiting for football. How excited for you to get out here and start
I'm really
playing?
excited, man. I've been waiting for this since last November, so it's time to strap it up.
And what team do you look forward to playing as you guys start the new season?
Everybody, really. We just taking one game at a time. Just going 1-0 every week, so that's our goal.
And that's the best way to look at it. How can people follow you on social media so they can keep up with you during the season?
So at social media, you can follow me at _JMoney, JAYMONEY_2 on IG.
See, the quarterback's always got the right handle. The J Money, quarterback in the building.
Yes,
all right, guys,
sir.
from the Clayton County. All right, guys, we're at the Clayton County Media Day. And you know, one of our feature schools is Jonesboro High School. We've got a couple of their studs from offense. They're going to introduce themselves to you right now. Go ahead.
My name is Jamon Jones, class 2025, quarterback.
My name is John Tevye, I'm a class 126. Jonesboro.
You know, last year, guys, was a lot of 7-3, a lot of big plays for you guys last year. What are you looking forward to as you guys come into the season this year?
We're just looking forward to doing more. Like Coach Floyd said, we're trying to do more of what we did last year. We're trying to do more of everything that we did last year. And that's it, more.
We really want to make a big impact, like on the county, and so we can just put Clayton County on the map.
You guys, young man that you watch there, he is a gentleman that is really making some noise down here in the state of Georgia, and even to some degree, right all around the country. He is what we call an athlete. That's a new term now for individuals that play both ways. He plays both offense and defense. Kind of, for lack of a better term, a poor man's Travis Hunter. Not to take anything away from him, but Travis Hunter was the number one prospect in the nation. This young man, John Tavius, I think the last name is Murray, if I have it right. He is I think ranked number 200 in the nation by ESPN. So he is a top recruit, and he announced actually last week as a junior, he's already committed to the University of Georgia. So you guys here in the Metro Atlanta area and around Georgia, look forward to seeing young Mr. John Tavius come out there and ply his trade. He said one of the reasons why he went out there because he said he just felt very comfortable out in Georgia. And of course, Kirby Smart, who is the head coach from Georgia, the team that's won 2 of the last 3 national championships. A lot of people don't know, but Kirby actually played at Georgia, and he was a defensive back. So John Tavius feels that he can go out there and really learn how to play the game of football at the next level with the Georgia Bulldogs. So congratulations to him, and congratulations to all the young men that we're going to get a chance to cover this year. We're going to move on to bigger and better things. Like I said, again, if you would like to be a part of what we have going on, we have some sponsorship spots available. And here's the thing we've done. First of all, we have small business sponsorships as low as $150. And for that amount, you would get sponsor mentions during our live stream telecast. You also would get your actual logo on the website that people can click on and go to more of your business. And in fact, you also will be available to have that on the Clayton County High School Athletic Department, the alumni section. We'll be able to have you there as well. So again, please, we'd love to have you be a part of what we're doing here to help further what is happening with young people in the world of football. And again, hit us up. Here it is right here. That's how you follow us. Just hit us up, Jay Simmons at realtalksports.net, or hit me up 678-410-9833. And like I said, we'd love to have you be a part of it. Well, guys, we normally have two other folks that join us. They're running a little bit behind schedule. I'm talking about the Queen, Miss Tree Dolman, a former standout athlete, both as a volleyball and basketball player in high school, and later went on to be a star at Middle Tennessee State in volleyball, and actually had an opportunity, narrowly missing making a WNBA roster when she got out of college. So we're excited to have her coming on with us in a little bit. And also later on the broadcast, when we talk more football, look forward to having the guy we simply call the champion, two-time Super Bowl champion, Tyrone Poole, played with the Patriots and won titles back-to-back in 04 and 05. He always likes to join us as we talk football in the second half. So hopefully he'll be able to join us and do that. Well, speaking of the lovely Queen, Miss Tree Dolman, I believe I see her in the green room. So we're going to bring her up right now. The lovely and beautiful Miss Tree Dolman, welcome to the show.
Hello, Jonathan. Hi, everyone.
Can
you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I just want to hear you. Oh.
Hi, everyone. So I have to apologize to you, Jonathan, and to our audience because you sent us the information super early and I forgot my Fitbit today. And I was over with my father, as many of you may or may not know. I'm a caregiver to my father. I go spend time with him and see him every day. Because I was out of town for almost a week, I was over there washing his clothes and just making sure he was taken care of. And then I looked up and I was like, no, it's 7:30. So I was rushing home, and so it's completely my fault. So please forgive me for being late. I apologize to you, Jonathan. I apologize to all of the viewers.
See, what happened, guys? I threw her off. See, normally I send them the links and stuff like literally sometime an hour or less before showtime. But I told myself last night, as we move into a new football season, that you always want to try to improve. Says, okay, let's try to really get everything set up. The night before, I couldn't sleep. I said, all right, since you can't sleep, be proactive. I got everything set up. I got my email flyer out, because a lot of you guys get that on a weekly basis. Send everything out, and I got the text and everything over earlier today. So I threw her off. She's like, he wasn't expecting a text.
I like it when you send it early.
Well, I'm going to try to stay with that.
I was thrown off.
Right. But I mean, at the end of the day,
I just got back in town yesterday and trying to get rest. I mean, it's just been a lot. And so, like I said, really not wearing my Fitbit is what did it, because normally I can look at the time. I'm not constantly on my cell phone. So I was just thrown off and I was like, whoa, how did it get this late? Last time I looked up, it was 5 o'clock. Now it's 7:30. I was like, I gotta go. So yeah.
Well, as you can see here, we're operating a little bit differently. No green screen today. We're just going good old fashioned, our backdrop, and you can see there, for those of you who are Falcon fans, we're all dirty birds, which may or may not be true. But the bottom line is the Falcons are starting off, and they're down right now in Miami Tree. They're doing what they call a joint practice along with the Miami Dolphins, and we hope to have our good buddy D-Led back with us next week. He's in Miami now covering the team, so obviously he can't call in while he's doing that. But yeah, it's a lot of excitement, Tree, because everything is on now.
Can we first give a moment for D-Led, which we'll have to give him his flowers once he joins the show. But during Pro Football Hall of Fame week, when the new class got their gold jackets at the gold jacket ceremony, they honored our very own D-Led. And it was just so awesome seeing him there. I missed him getting the award because we eat dinner in a separate place and then they bring us over. But seeing him on that stage, and I was just so proud. I was like, that's all D-Led. I mean, just phenomenal work, and really excited for him. So when he comes back on the show, we need to do a flyer for him and just make sure we celebrate him and give him his flowers.
D. Orlando Ledbetter, yeah, we are just so honored to have him on. I had a guy that actually started me on this broadcast way back. I can't believe our first broadcast was over 15 years ago, myself and Vincent Turner. And he said, Jonathan, I'm going to tell you something, buddy. He said, you're a very fortunate man. He said, because, D-Led is a very wanted guy on all the Falcons podcasts. And the fact that he regularly comes on your show, man, he says really a huge blessing. And that it is. We appreciate him for coming on and taking time of his busy schedule. As a matter of fact, guys, I'll put this ticker down there. That's how you can actually pick up his weekly broadcast. It's called the Cover 9 on 9. There is the link to do it. I don't know if you can cut it and paste it. Probably you can't because it's moving. But also just go to ajc.com. That's another way you can find him. Going to the sports section, and he'll be right there broadcasting to you. So, yeah, check out D-Led. Great guy. He does, just great work. And one last thing here to give him a last and final shout out here. I'm going to put up here we normally wait till he's on, but there's his official information right there. D Orlando Led on Instagram and D Orlando AJC on I know I got to change that logo now. It's X. I know things change, but that still kind of just throws me off, that whole X. I want to X the whole thing out.
Well, the funny thing is they don't just say X, they say X, formerly known as Twitter. Like, you might as well just keep it as Twitter.
Right. Well, they're just trying to be cute. They're trying to take something from Prince. The artist formerly known as Prince. They're trying to do that same thing, trying to be kind of real cool, but it doesn't work. Just leave yourself as Twitter. Forget all that stuff. Forget about it. Well, Treat, what do you think about the Olympics so far? Is this must-see TV?
Yes. Listen, every second that I've been able to catch it, I've been catching it. I even earlier today watched the sport that's new to the Olympics that I never saw before. Had no clue that there was a sport for wall climbing, but they call it speed. What did they call it? Speed wall or speed climbing. And I can't believe how quick these guys were getting up from the ground all the way up to the top of the wall climbing and tapping the button. There were some guys that did like 4.92 seconds. I mean, it was amazing how quick they did it. And I was like, wow. And so this is the first year that it's a sport in the Olympics. I was just like, wow, they have so many great sports. But watching the gymnastics, watching track and field, watching swimming, volleyball, basketball. I've been watching pretty much anything that you can talk about. My television has been on 24/7 on the Olympic channel because I love watching the Olympics.
Funny you should mention the gymnastics, because it seems like, well, not every Olympics, but there's some kind of controversy that happens during the Olympics. And this year is no different. Why people have to be haters, I guess that's just the way life works. I'm sure you may or may not be aware, but former U.S. Olympian Michaela Skinner is being eviscerated on social media for, I guess you can't call anything more than some shade that she threw at the current team. Comments who were probably, I listened to most of it. Some of it was taken out of context, but still, it just seemed like haterade. What was your thoughts about that? First of all, did you hear the comments? And if so, what were your thoughts?
I did not hear the comments. I just saw the post that Simone Biles put in regards to her, with the comments that she said about them being lazy and whatever. And she put gold medalists and champions. So, and then she said, oops, looks like I got blocked. But I just saw that, but I hadn't seen or heard what her teammates said. But I just saw where people were saying that her former teammate had made bad comments about the current team, which I think is, like I said, I didn't see it, I didn't hear it. But for you to talk bad about the team, that's just ridiculous. I mean, regardless of what anyone has to say, you know what no one can't say is that they're not Olympians. So they're there for a reason. And with gymnastics, you actually have to qualify. That the team doesn't just pick you and say, oh, we want you, we want you, we want you. No, you actually have to go to a qualification process. You have to perform. You get judged on your performance, and the people with the highest scores are the ones who make the team. So it's not, oh, well, Simone, we're going to take her because she's already a gold medalist. No, she still has to go perform and get those scores to make the team. So regardless of what anyone tries to say, they all performed, they all made the team, and they won gold. The end. Period.
Yeah, a lot of I'm gonna get some of these comments here that again, this was
Okay.
the controversy was caused by former this thing, she's former US Olympian. She won a medal in
Yeah.
her last Olympic competition. And basically she said, this is some of the things she said. She said um, that the team would, just was not, she said she thought some of the members were lazy. Some of them weren't putting out 100%. They weren't under the same type of discipline that they had when she was on the team. And just a lot of comments that just doesn't make any sense. Now, even though she did make clear reference several times that Simone Biles was an extremely hard worker and taking nothing from her, and that most of the comments were towards the rest of the team. But I find that bizarre considering that this is a team that won multiple medals. Now, of course, here's the thing, which is what I always kind of hate about being part of the so-called media industry. As you know, Tree, any type of controversial comments or statements are always held for what we call maximum impact.
Yeah.
Technically, this was said, you know, basically almost before some of the competition started. And so they kind of waited until they knew, hey, we got a lot of eyeballs on this. And of course, what's happened now is she has made appeal to Simone Biles to help her because her family, she says, has now been not only cyber bullied, but there have been death threats and other things thrown at her, which I don't approve of that kind of nonsense at all. But
No, I
people
don't
just have
either.
to understand we are in a different day today, and you have to be very careful what you say because people, you have people out there that
But she's the
follow.
one that said it.
Yeah,
But
I mean,
you know
yeah.
what I'm saying? So Simone Biles posted lack of talent, lazy Olympic champions. And she put a heart and a gold medal and the American flag. So that's what she put in regard to all of the comments that she made. Lack of talent and lazy is what she said about them.
That's right. That's
So
right. Yeah, just and again, just it goes back to most of the things that I see that happen today are just the lack of things that our parents, grandparents, aunties, uncles told us back in the day. And it's still, and the reason why they told us because they were told because it's true. It said if you don't have anything good to say, don't say it at all.
that part. Correct. We were all told that. Some of us listen, some of us don't. Well, I don't always listen, but I don't say it. If I do say something, which is very rare, it's definitely not to a news or media outlet where people will hear it.
Yeah,
But
just
I
it's
try
better,
not to
man.
say it
Just
at all.
don't put your mouth on anybody. Let's go to social media here. And this, what is this?
Pastor Sajid Gill, Pastor Sajid, prayer request to know about Jesus. Hello, friend. We humble request. We are 13 young youth leader and know about Jesus. Please teach us how to grow with Jesus and need Bible study for 45 minutes in a week to know about Jesus and walk with truth. Please prayer and teach us, Pastor Sajid Kanual, Pakistan. God bless you all.
Well, if I can understand that, I'm sure their English is not as strong as they like to do, but apparently they have some young people that they would like some assistance with some Bible study, which obviously excites me. I'm going to put here on the screen. If you would like to contact me about that, this is it here. Hit me up, Jay Simmons at realtalksports.net. You can text me 678-410-9833. And I'll do whatever I can to help you in terms of getting materials. Whatever you guys might need that I can assist you with, please let me know. And certainly we thank the Lord for you reaching out to us during this program because we are always trying to spread the good news of the gospel because it's like I
All
tell people
about.
during, yeah, I mean, and we're not going to get to that today. If you guys want to hear more about the Lord, you can check out my ministry programs. I do it Wednesday at 10:30. Also have another broadcast either 8:30 or 9 o'clock on Sundays. But at the end of the day, as I mentioned on those broadcasts, certainly you would have to be kind of naive to not understand that things are kind of wrapping up here. It's getting more and more difficult. Lots of things are going on that you read in the Bible that the Lord said would happen before you return. So certainly I would encourage everybody, as I do each and every week at the end of the broadcast, that this is a time, if you don't know God, you got to know him now, because
Yes.
we just don't know when things are going to change rapidly and suddenly. So, please, ma'am, please, sir, that's the Lord is waiting for all of us. So he's available to you. Now, you mentioned, you said you watched something about rock climbing, and you made me laugh because I might have to dig it up. No, actually, thank God they never actually put it into the broadcast. Actually, when I was working with AIB, one of the things we did is that right here in Atlanta, they have a company that has two rock climbing locations, indoor rock climbing locations. I think one's in Midtown. I think the other one's up in Alpharetta. So we thought it'd be a good idea to do a story on this because rock climbing is great for fitness. And this is
Yeah.
going back maybe about 8 or 9 years ago, and this was kind of a big craze. They thought it would be a good idea that we showed people the rock climbing as part of the broadcast. And I was convinced to be put in a harness and attempt to rock climb. Now, going up the wall was not too bad. The time was brutally slow. What did you say the guys were up in about 4.9 seconds?
Well, some 4.9. Yeah, I think the quickest was like 4.5 or something. But yeah.
Okay, well, if you shift that ad to about maybe 4.9 minutes as I laboriously climbed up the wall, I did get to, I think, 2 rungs from the top. Then they said, okay, sir, now to get down is like rappelling. You just
Yeah.
release yourself and then just remember, don't let go of the rope and kind of just let your feet touch on your way down. Somehow there was a misunderstanding by me in the translation. And next thing you know, I found myself free falling down.
Oh my goodness.
So one day I'm going to go to AIB and get the footage because I actually thankfully did not run that. But yeah, you will see me kind of
That's
one leg up, one arm going the other way.
that's funny.
Yeah. I mean, fortunately, you're the way you're strapped, you really can't get hurt, but it is kind of it makes you look really goofy when you when you come down.
Well, I know
Uh,
that at homecoming one year they had this rock climbing thing outside. And so I'm all excited. I'm with my brother and his girlfriend, and I'm like, let's do it. And I climb up the wall, I get to the top, bam. And then I turn and look down there, and they're like, only way to get down is just to jump. And I was like, I'm not jumping. so, so I was up there for about 5 minutes for them to convince me to jump down. They were like, Tree, you can do it. You just gotta release. So I was like, I am not just I think I was fine until I looked down. Time I looked down, it was like, whoa, I'm up further than I thought. Yeah, so it took me a minute, and now my heart was pounding. And then
Oh yeah.
I finally slowly came down, and then I was like, oh, that's not that bad. I can do it again. They were looking at me like, no, ma'am, you are
No,
you are
ma'am.
not getting back up here. Took us too long to get you down. But
So we
yeah, so I
appreciate you,
get
but
it.
the answer is no.
Right. No.
Yeah, so it was just kind of real crazy. Just coming down because they if you ever watch the films like the Army, they come down. Basically, all you gotta do is just what the guy said. You push off from the rock,
Right.
and then
I
you
mean, it
can't do anything.
looks easier when you see it on TV, right?
Oh yeah, no doubt. Yeah, I mean, I was just like I said, going sideways. One arm was up here, and they would, sir, just let go, sir, let go. And I was just, my version of letting go and what their version was completely different. Yeah, it was just a
Wish
very
I could have
comical
seen
scene.
that. Please get the video. Please.
Yeah, I could get that. They had some nice. When I was doing that show, they really did have some good bloopers. Me and shooting the air ball at the Hawks when they built the new facility out there in College Park. They had it in slow motion. Like I said, it looked so good coming off my hands. I was in my suit. I looked smooth, and I mean, I think I missed by about a good foot and a half. Didn't touch the rim, the net,
Oh
anything.
wow.
Yeah, it
Oh
was
wow.
not a. Yeah, so I got some.
We've
I
all
got I
we've
got some
all shot
bloopers.
an air ball here and there.
Look, at the end of the day, I mean, I see it was my fault. I was trying to be Rico Suave. I said, let me do it with my suit on. I can do it. Instead of saying like anybody with common sense, sir, take your jacket off at least so
That's
you
what
can
most
get a
guys
clear.
do.
But nope, I was trying to be like you said, Mr. Smooth, and Anyway, that didn't quite work out for us. All right, guys, we're going to do is we're going to take a quick little break here, and then we'll be back with the final segment of the Real Talk Sports Show, talking some football because all the NFL is on and popping now. Our first preseason game was already in the books, and Tree's excited about her Lions as they are ranked on one of the top 5 teams with the best shot to get to the Super Bowl. All right, guys, keep it locked right here. We'll be back with more of the Real Talk Sports Show in just a moment. Don't go nowhere.
Did you know that Allen Vigil Ford in Morrow, Georgia also has Lincoln? Over 35 years of using the Vigil Touch to provide excellent customer service, works hand in hand with the Lincoln Motor Company to provide a luxurious and seamless way to acquire your next luxury vehicle. Lincoln has an array of full-service complimentary owner benefits. These benefits include hospitality partnerships, service pickup and delivery, all which can be accessed through the Lincoln Way app. You can even contact the 24/7 concierge to have someone assist you. Come and see our great inventory of new and pre-owned Lincolns today. Call 678-364-7345 to make an appointment with one of our brand champions or shop 24/7 online at allenvigillincoln.net.
This is OJ Howard with Real Talk Sports.
What's up, guys? This is Tim Tebow. You're listening to Real Talk Sports.
This is Charles Woodson. Let me grab the mic. You ready? This is Charles Woodson with Real Talk Sports. Hey, it's your boy JB Smooth with Real Talk Sports.
I kill you, wide receiver coach, Atlanta Falcons.
Coach, looking at this team, everybody's been talking about how high-powered it is, how many offensive weapons. What do you really do to reinforce the type of scheme that you guys are trying to run to be most effective for your players?
Say we're high-powered, huh?
That's what everybody says, yes, sir.
Looks good on paper right now.
Okay, it appears like we're having a little problem with our volume here. We're going to try to see if we can get a little bit of the Falcons OC. For those of you who, of course, are big Falcons fans, you know this was their second. And could you hear the coach?
Yeah.
You hear him okay?
Yeah.
So I just want to make sure because it sounded very low.
Let's go.
Let's try this again here. Let's try it. We'll try one of the other videos, see if we can get a little bit of the offensive coordinator. Let's see if we can get that. Let's see.
Trying to get this year on the going other way. No, learning a lot. You know, Raheem has been such a great resource. Being able to, you know, him and I's relationship going back the past, 3 years has really helped. I'm bouncing stuff off him constantly, and we've had great communication across the board. And the rest of the coaching staff has been great. Those guys are helping me out a ton, and just as a first time doing it, and the collaboration we've all had throughout the last 3 months. It feels like we've been here for over 2 years now. We've spent a lot of time talking through things, and it'll continue to grow. But definitely learning a lot, and there's things that you look back 3 months ago that maybe you thought was going to be really important, that now you look back, it's not as important, or something vice versa that you're like, oh man, I need to spend a little bit more time on this. So you're constantly learning, constantly evolving, but it's been a great transition, but we're around a lot of great guys, a lot of great players. It makes it a lot more fun.
Coach Jonathan from Real Talk Sports. Nice to meet you. Finally.
Yeah, good to see you.
Yeah, man. So you just mentioned something there about having good guys. How important is that? Because it seems like that's really the theme of even the guys you drafted. They like about character, guys that are good communicators, and guys that are good guys. What does that mean for you, coaching over a group like this?
Oh, it's the best. That's what you want. You want guys that love football as much as we do as coaches, and that's exactly what we have here with every single player, which has been cool to see. Obviously, it's been built over time, but from an outsider coming in, and you hear about the Chris Lindstroms and you hear about the Drake Londons and the Dijons and those guys, but until you're actually there and you see just the intent that they have every single day, the way that they approach the game, how humble they are, all they care about is winning, and all they care about is each other. That's what it's all about, and that's what football, that's what you love about it. So it's been really cool to see just the culture, from the guys, because it's going to always start with the players, and obviously Raheem, his leadership throughout the past few months just escalates that. So it's awesome to have these guys that just love ball and they just want to get better.
It talks a little about that Raheem style. It's kind of almost Tony Dungy's, kind of a low key, almost like a nice guy approach? And what does it mean for you to be part of a staff that's in that same vibe?
No, it's great. That's the best way to coach people is in a positive and uplifting environment. Of course, we're going to be demanding on these guys, and we're going to have expectations, and they're going to understand, hey, this is what we're expecting from you, and that will be consistent. But you can do it in a positive way. Hey, I've seen this from you. This is why we're going to, do it this way. And so, his leadership. I've been around Raheem for the last 3 years. He's never had a bad day. I mean, you guys have gotten to know him. That's real and authentic, and at the end of the day, these guys that's what they're looking for. You just be authentically yourself, show them that you care, but lead in an uplifting and positive way.
Yes, that was our offense coordinator, Zach Robinson. And what really fascinated me about this whole thing is, in fact, the nice guy approach. I mean, Raheem is a guy that is super positive, never negative. He's kind of very much like your coach, Campbell. These guys are high energy. And I think that that's really the biggest difference that I see from the previous regime, just that whole positive energy. And so, Treat, before we talk Falcons, your Lions, tell people one more time how far you think they can go and why you think this team is just, poised to, well, you tell them what you think is going to happen with those Lions.
Well, my Detroit Lions are going to the Super Bowl this year. And when the Super Bowl is in New Orleans, all you are going to see down there is Honolulu blue. So make sure you are prepared because we are coming. But let me not say it the proper way. We coming. We gonna be down there. Yes. So we're going all the way this year. We were so close last year, and that pain, it's still eating the guys up. We signed all the people that we needed to sign. We brought on people that we needed that for our weak points. We have our offensive coordinator. We have our defensive coordinator. We have our head coach. We coming. Super Bowl, here we come.
Yeah, Lions definitely look good. They are ranked as one of the top 5 teams in the NFL as far as their ability to reach the Super Bowl. So it should be very interesting. I mean, and the other cool thing is you guys get a lot of extra pub because of your wide receiver he is a part of that whole new series of receivers on Netflix. And, just to kind of,
St. Brown.
Yes, ma'am, just to kind of see him and to see his father and how he kind of was to some degree groomed to be this outstanding NFL player. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what the Lions can do and, how far they can go. But everybody is thinking that, hey, man, this is a team that has got lots of good stuff ahead of it. So we look forward to see what the Lions can do. And it's funny because they said here in the Detroit Free Press, it says, talking about one of your receivers here, it's, oh, wait a minute, they blocked me. How dare you block me, doggone you? Okay. Anyway, it was saying how, he really, although he was known in the league and known across the country, he is now like this kind of like almost budding superstar. Everybody knows him.
Well, he is a superstar.
He's a
one
bad
of
man.
the best wide receivers in the NFL. He's the highest paid wide receiver in the NFL.
He's getting a check. He is getting a nice check.
We paid our people.
No,
we
you
paid
did. I
him.
mean,
We paid Panay, Sewell. I'm saying we paid our people. We good. Now we just need to go get that Super Bowl championship.
Well, it's interesting, when the teams have these joint practices, and of course, this is what's going on right now. You guys are having some joint practices with the Giants, and evidently, we had a little bit of scuffling going on, which you always get in these type of situations because, teams are so used to going against one another. They're chomping at the bit, and so there were multiple scuffles with Lions players, and one of them involved the Giants' first-round draft pick, Malik Nabers. It said after an incompletion, Nabers made contact with Lions safety Kirby Joseph on his way back to the Giants part of the field. Joseph retaliated, and both men threw some punches while other members of both teams spilled into the parade, and they said it was a very heated practice.
Sure.
So, yeah, your boys already
we don't play in Detroit.
Yeah, evidently. Yeah, it's a lot of yeah. But you expect that. And you expect it certainly anytime you have teams that play where they've not kind of played, anyone but themselves, pretty much all of the preseason. Of course, down in Atlanta, down in Miami, Atlanta does this every year. Miami is one of the teams they do these joint practices with. And from the highlights, it does appear that Kirk Cousins and Michael Penix Jr. are already in midseason form, dropping dimes all over the place. And I got to tell you, there's two guys who I think are going to have huge season, but one guy in particular, I think that number 5, Drake London, is going to move himself to position to be one of the top receivers in the NFL. He looks like he's a man on a mission. I've watched him both in practice and in these scrimmages. It seems like his goal is not to have one ball drop to the ground. I mean, balls have been thrown behind him. They've been jump balls and contested. And he's like, I don't care how much the defensive back smacks me, bumps me, I'm not dropping this ball. And he said not that he wants to focus wholly on individual goals, but a lot of people may or may not know he came within 40 yards of being a 1,000-yard receiver last year. And he said that's his number one goal, is to get 1,000 yards. And I think that he's going to get it. I think also Kyle Pitts is another guy who has been same way. He's like, look, basically people kind of wrote me off. Some people call me a bust. But the unsung guy, I don't know if he's going to get enough touches, but as much as everybody likes Bijan Robinson, as much as talks about him being a generational player, the guy the Falcons need to get the ball to is the bowling ball, Tyler Algiers. I think that if used properly, he can be the real unsung hero of this team, because this guy gets yards the old-fashioned way, Tree. He's just going to come at you. He's stocky, barely 6 feet, but he weighs about 225 pounds. All right, let's go to social media. Todd is there.
Todd! He said, Preacher, I see London is slow. He does not have breakaway speed, Preacher.
Yeah, but brother, I don't care about that. I don't need breakaway speed. What I need is a guy. Here's the thing. Think about this for a second, Todd. Let's just say, for example, you have 11 targets and you got a really speedy guy, let's just say 7 out of 11, but you have a guy that maybe is not a 4-3 guy, but of the 11 targets, he makes 9 of them and 4 or 5 of them are for first downs. That's the kind of player that Drake London is. That'll get you 1,000 yards, brother. That's the end of the day. If Drake London gets 60 or more receptions, he's going to have 1,000 yards. I'm just saying.
Preacher, love you, man. Laugh out loud. My drinking the Kool-Aid Falcons have been promoting. He said, you drinking the Kool-Aid, promoting the Falcons.
No, listen, at the end of the day, I got a chance.
That is funny.
He's always killing me, man, about drinking the Kool-Aid. Yeah. I know. And Tree has been so kind not to remind me. In the last 2 years, I predicted the Falcons were going to be over 500 and go to the playoffs. I also predicted that my quarterback that they drafted in the 3rd round was going to, Desmond Ridder, was going to be a quarterback of the future.
You did.
Sadly, I was mistaken on both of those counts.
Okay.
So I can understand.
You had hope in your team.
On paper. And the interesting thing about that first interview I had with the Falcons wide receiver coach, IQ, the guy who played in the league himself, when I said that the team was supposed to have a high-powered offense, he leaned back and he says, so that's what everybody's saying, huh? He said, on paper, he said, but we have to put it on the grass. He said, all that stuff is great, but that's it. Oh, wait a minute. Todd is saying something I already knew.
Can I say how lovely Tree looks tonight? Oh, thank you, Todd. Oh. I appreciate you, Todd.
For once, his assessment is correct and without error.
Oh, thank you both. Very kind.
Spot on. Well, yes, I think at the end of the day, it's just the big thing about this team is, are they going to be able to have the defense to make the stops? Because they're going to be faced with, right out of the box, you're going to have either Russell Wilson or you're going to have Justin Fields. Both guys, Justin Fields, you saw what happened to us last year. He kind of ran us out of the building. And in the case of
he's a good
Russell Wilson, yeah, Russell Wilson's still a good quarterback. And he's had problems over the years beating the Falcons, especially in postseason play. So I'm sure he wants to come in here and get some get back. So, at the end of the day,
Plus,
it's
he's
going to
with the
be
team
defense.
where he's appreciated. So I think he's going to play much better than he's played the last few seasons. When you're with a team that appreciates you and they know your value, you play better.
Well, no doubt. And Mike Tomlin, as we know, is one of the great coaches in NFL history, and he has a great way of getting guys to play hard for him and play well for him. One last thing, I will say about the Falcons in regards to their defense. Another person to watch that if this guy has a good year, the Falcons will be tough, which is Zach Harrison, a guy they drafted from Ohio State, kind of have fallen off being a second round or third round pick because a lot of people felt that his motor wasn't consistent. But I got to tell you, he seemed like he found it in the second half of last year at 3 sacks, I think, in 8 games. And he is the prototypical type of defensive end / tackle that Raheem Morris and the style they used in LA, 6'5.5", 274 pounds, and a wingspan of a guy about 6'9". Good run stopper. And when he gets going, a load off the edge. If this guy can get me 6 or 7 sacks from that position, Falcons going to be something to work with. And of course, Grady Jarrett's back. Tree looked good in practice. He looked healthy. So I think the Falcons got a shot. It was really going to get down to defense. I think the offense is not going to be a problem. I think defensively, though, they have
I
to
think
stop
they have
people.
a shot every year. I'm not mad at you. We'll see. I know who does have a shot. My Lions. And I will tell you who else. My Vikings. Both
Put
of
my
my
shade
teams
on.
have a shot.
Wow. See, Falcons fans, I try to bring some balance, but Tree is really not having it. She says,
No.
in terms of the Falcons, she's from Missouri, from the Show Me State. Show me.
I like the Falcons too. You know, that's one of my husband's teams.
That's
I'm
right.
not hating on the Falcons. Hey,
That's right.
any team that saw my husband as a great fit for their organization, I root for them. It's just, you know, my Lions and my Vikings are just top tier, but I want to see the Falcons do well. My husband gave 2 years to this franchise. Todd said, question for y'all. Do y'all think Falcons start 1-5? It's possible. Look at the schedule. Yes, I do. They have a very tough schedule, Todd. And the teams that they're coming out with, I don't know. Like, it'll either be very close or they could have some losses. And especially at the beginning of the season when you're trying to figure things out. So we'll see. But I do think that it is possible that they can start 1-5. What about you, Jonathan? What do you think? I love me some Lions, but
Dude,
yeah,
mean,
like 1-5. You know, we're America's new team.
you know what this is called? See, this is what is called a case of being blinded by beauty. I never heard Todd talk about the Lions at all.
Yes, he has.
Not to this level. I'm just saying.
Yes,
Anyway,
he
we love you, though,
has.
Todd. Listen, it happens.
Ever since last season, he's been liking the line. Everybody, hello, I just said, Jonathan, we're the new America's team. Everybody loves the Lions now. When I wear my gear, people always, oh, Lions. I'm telling you, we're the new America's team.
Well, I can't debate with you because people do like this team. A lot of people felt they should have, got the postseason to the Super Bowl last year. So
Yes.
I'm just saying. It was loving some lines, by the way. Okay, so let's look at the schedule, what he's talking about. So Falcons, of course, start off here, fortunately, at home, but they got a big task of playing against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Steelers, I can guarantee you that one of the reasons why the Falcons sold their season tickets and why all of a sudden it's already scalpers' delight is that the Steelers travel well. So it's going to be a very raucous Mercedes-Benz Stadium, and the Falcons fans are going to have to come full throttle because the terrible towels will be out from the old days, and the Steeler fans will be there in mass. And, of course, like I mentioned, Justin Fields, especially if he plays, he's going to play with a chip on his shoulder because he feels that the Falcons maybe should have drafted him, and plus he's back home. And everybody wants to show well at home. So that's game number one. And then next, they have to go on the road and play in a hostile environment called Philadelphia, which traditionally, even going back to the Michael Vick days, the Falcons have never played well in Philadelphia. So they could conceivably be at 0-2. Then they have to come back home and face the two-time defending champion, Kansas City Chiefs. And then, of course, the big rivalry game, fortunately, again at home against the Saints. And then the very next week on a short night, I think it's Thursday night, they'll play the Buccaneers. So I can see where Todd could say, conceivably, if things don't go well, they could start off very poorly.
Yes, they have a very, very tough start, let's just say. So they're gonna have to go hard or go home.
Yeah.
If they come hard and prepared, they can get I'm not really, maybe 2 wins out of that start, but I really can see, like Todd was saying, 1-5 or 0-5. I mean, it really just depends on what they have to prove.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, one of my favorite quotes: "Hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard." So regardless of what the rosters look like, regardless of the former champions and all of that, when you come out and you give it your all and you have that mentality that we're not losing no matter what, you typically can come out on top and win. But it's a matter of, hey, have they switched that to that mindset where they got that dog and that oomph in them and they're like, we're winning these games? Then yeah, you can turn it around. But if they don't have that, it's going to be a very difficult task. Todd said, I saw a look in Preacher's eye just then, Tree, when you said 0-5. What's the look, Todd? You ain't like when I said they may go 0-5?
This is the constant shade I have to put up with. So once again, I have to put my glasses on.
That's hilarious. That's funny.
Look, at the end of the day, this is it. All those first 5 games, obviously.
Uh-oh, I think we lost them. And it's really the first 6. If they're 1-5, we're talking about the first 6 games. But I think we lost the Preacher, everyone. So I'll just talk for a minute. And I'm going to talk about my Lions. Go Lions, one pride. I cannot wait for our season, which I will say, oh, you're back. Okay. I think he's back. Are you back, Jonathan? Nope, he's frozen again. Our schedule is also much harder. So we're going to have a more difficult task to get to the Super Bowl, which again, I love because I want to play the best teams to show that we are the best. You only know you're the best when you play the best. And so I'm not upset the least bit that we have a harder road to cross to get to the Super Bowl. I think that we're up for the task. As I've said before, I think it's still stinging all of our players from last year. All we had to do was finish one half of football and we would have won the game and gone to the Super Bowl. And so that's still hurting and stinging with them. And you can't tell me that we're not going to come ready to play this year. So I'm really excited about it. I'm looking forward to it. I cannot wait for football season to start. We already had our first game of the NFL and I'm really excited. So I'm just counting down. And I'm very excited also to see with the Minnesota Vikings and McCarthy. He's a really great quarterback. He had a great career at the University of Michigan. I think he's going to have a great career in the NFL. He's one of those guys that works really hard and he puts in the work. So I can see him having a good rookie season and performing. And I see my Minnesota Vikings doing very well this year. So I think that both of my teams are going to compete and do well. And I can see them both going to the playoffs. I see my Lions going to the Super Bowl and winning our first Super Bowl and playing in our first Super Bowl. So as I've already stated multiple times, New Orleans, please get ready to see the Honolulu Blue because we are going to be all over your city for Super Bowl. I cannot wait. I'm excited and I'm looking forward to it. Well, I am not able to put any comments up on the screen. I'm not sure what happened with Jonathan. And let's see, what else are we going to talk about? I can talk about the Olympics. I've been watching the sports. I see that our women's 3-on-3 team did place and get a medal. They were actually the only 3-on-3 team that placed and got a medal for the second year in a row because that is a new event that they've put on. Even when they first started playing, they had not won one game. So it's nice to see that they finished and actually medaled. Are you back, Jonathan?
Yeah, so I had to do what you've done from time to time. I had to go to my mobile device. I'm not sure what's going on with our laptop here. I'll give one more comment and then we'll sign off.
Tree, I think they go to Super Bowl this year. Lions, yay! Go Todd! See, Todd is on board with me. He thinks it too. The Lions are going to the Super Bowl, everybody. You hear it here from Todd and myself. We're calling it. We're calling it before the season even starts. To the Super Bowl we go.
Yeah, like I said, at the end of the day, I mean, they are a good team. We know that, in fact, that they are one of the top 5 teams picked to go to the Super Bowl. So, I mean, what can you say? It's documented. This team is a team to watch.
Pride. I'm excited. I was really excited when we kept our OC and our DC. I was like, yes. And then we signed the players that we needed to re-sign. I was like, yes. And then when I saw our draft picks, I was like, yes. Everything. I'm like, yes. This is our year. This is our year. I'm excited. I already bought some new Lions gear. I'm ready. I am prepared. I have new Lions gear that I'll be rocking. It's y'all not ready.
Look, at the end of the day, it would be exciting to see the Lions get there because they were even talking to Megatron. And he said, listen, first of all, I have no regrets about not playing anymore. He said, my body just was spent. And he said, no, I don't have any haters. He said, matter of fact, I'm excited because people, see, this is so crazy how people don't watch anything. They brought him back and he was cheering and screaming like everybody else. He was extremely excited because he's a Lion. I mean, the guy was a Lion for life. So, I mean, I think everybody would want to see them. Yep.
Todd said, but Tree, they got to keep QB healthy. I agree,
Right.
Todd. That will be the key. We have to keep, hey, but guess what? That's why we paid Panuso. That's why he's the highest paid. I'm just saying, he protects our quarterback. So we paid the people the big bucks that needed to be paid, and we made sure they were the highest paid in their position. I mean, we put our money where our mouths are, and that's what I'm really happy to see with my Lions, because you get some teams where they don't want to pay a lot of money to keep the players that they need to keep, and so the players leave and go elsewhere. The Detroit Lions, we did not do that. We renewed contracts. We made sure our players were the top paid in their position, highest paid wide receiver, highest paid with everybody that we brought on, and then even with our draft picks, we drafted our weaknesses, which I think was great. We have really great players coming in. And you know what I really loved about our new players that we drafted is that they were excited to come to Detroit. They had already looked up the culture. They had already looked up different clothing lines and sayings, just like Cade Cunningham did from the Pistons. And I think that makes a difference when you get players who want to be in Detroit and play for the Lions. I'm telling you, I think we are going there. And I'm excited, but like Ty said, we need to keep our quarterback healthy. Ty said, night job, preacher. Did you send Tree my link to gospel? No, you sent him a link to a gospel CD? Listen, Todd, thank you for calling him out. I'm going to make sure he sends that to me. And you know I wanted that link.
All right. Well, I'm glad you reminded me, Todd, because I have fallen down derelict of duty. Thank you for reminding me on the air. We will take care of that as soon as I get off the air, sir. Being getting off the air, we're going to get out of here because, like I said, we got bugs in the machine down here. But nevertheless, we thank you so much for joining us. And, before we let you go, we always want you guys to make sure that you know how to find out more about each and every one of us. So we're going to see if we can make this do for my little phone here. We always do it the same way. See if we can make it work this time. No. Let's try it again. Let's try it the other way here. Get out of there. I'm trying to get the lovely Miss Tree Dolman by herself, but my laptop is acting crazy. All right, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and see if we can do it this way. Let's try it like this. There we go. That's about the best I can do right there. All right, we're going to let Tree sign off now. So, Miss Dolman, the floor is yours.
Hello, everyone. You can find me on social media at Purple Diva 13, as well as Ms. America International 2022. Make sure that you keep your eyes open. I have some really great things in store that will be coming soon.
The Queen has spoken. See, now it finally works. I tell you, I'm going to, let's get there one more time. There you go. That's how you can follow her, guys. Every now and then. All right, let me try to see if I can say goodnight to everyone. It's saying, forget about it. We're not going to let you do it. All right, let's try to do this here again. Let's see if I can get it to work. No? All right. I don't care anymore. How about that? It's always much more difficult trying to do this from my little iPad than from my laptop here. So hopefully you guys will be able to see me. There I am. Okay, so remember, guys, I will always encourage you, as I do before I get off the air, if you don't know Lord Jesus Christ, your personal Savior, please, man, please get to know him today. You can see all the crazy things happening, and he is your salvation. So here's what you do. Repent of your sins, believe that he died for your sins and rose from the dead. And two great things happen. Number one, you become a citizen of the kingdom of heaven. And number two, you become an adopted child of God with all the rights therein. That means you now can go to God like a heavenly parent. Ask him for anything that you need or desire, and according to his will, he'll give it to you. And when you die, you go to that wonderful place called heaven, where there's no pain, no pandemic, no bad people anywhere, and you now get to be up close and personal, see God, see Jesus Christ, all the people of love, face to face, and you avoid that nasty place called hell, where all the things I just mentioned won't be there. You instead will be locked up with the devil, all his demons, all the most evil people upon the earth. I don't know about you, but I like option number one better than option number two. All right, guys, until next time we get back together again, you know how we do it. We simply say God bless you and have a wonderful rest of the day or evening, whichever may apply. So long.
Bye. I think we lost them again.